My dad was a Presbyterian minister in Fond du Lac, and Shirley Hilger, the famous admissions counselor, came to his church to talk once a year or so. So I met her, looked at Carroll, and for me it was always Carroll, and I wasn't disappointed in the choice.
I always kind of was a little jealous of Jim after we met and I found out about his Carroll experience, because he was very comfortable here. He had very strong relationships and connections with faculty, a really nice group of friends, and a much more personal and joyful experience.
My dad, he also served on the Board of Trustees at Carroll when I was growing up, and when the money for Maxon Hall was authorized, and I was chair of the Board of Trustees at Carroll when the building was demolished. So there were a lot of family connections with the school.
I got to be part of the Carroll family, not really anticipating that I would enter in the way that I did. And it was through Jim's participation on the Board of Trustees, which got me very involved. We were blessed with a wonderful relationship with Doug and Nancy Hosted. To this day, they are some of our very best friends. We just were given so many opportunities to participate in meaningful events at Carroll and meet wonderful people and just always feel very, very loved and included. Both of our children did not start at Carroll. At the time that Juliana decided to pursue a degree in photography, Carroll had just introduced that as a major. Ben decided to pursue education. We said, well, why don't you take a look at Carroll, which he did, and both of them, their sophomore year, came to Carroll. We were thrilled that they decided to make this move because we had a special place for Carroll in our hearts. Carroll brought out the strengths in both of our children, which was really nice because they are very different. They're very wonderful, but they're very different. We were always donors to Carroll. The fact that our son is an educator and that we feel very strongly about teachers being the backbone of our youth, that we couldn't think of a better way to develop a scholarship fund to promote the future teachers.
The Department of Education has been around for a really long time, and it has pretty consistently focused on educational advocacy. So preparing educators, both pre-service teachers and in our educational leadership programs, to be supporters and advocates for students, for their families, for the profession. We prepare educators to understand the people, the families, and the communities in which they're working. We focus deeply on using research-based educational approaches so that we can also meet the needs of all of the learners with whom we're working. Education is a deeply complex system and place. We really want our people to be thinking about who they are, to live out of a place of integrity and professionalism.
We both know from our own experience as young students and as our kids' experience how important it is to have good teachers in the classroom. We were very happy when our son decided that he wanted to go into education. We also noticed that, at least among his cohort, there were a lot more women that were education than there were men.
You're familiar with teacher shortages, and we are in this business to prepare and provide educators for our systems. And we can't do that without donor support.
We believe in Carroll. We believe in what Carroll is doing. We believe in the importance of education. Think Carroll does that very well. And so thought one thing we could do to really help is to establish an endowed scholarship for education majors. So that's the route we took.
It's especially exciting for me when I learned that the DeJong family is part of this donor support.
I also know from my time at Carroll when I had some scholarship assistance, and Ben also had some scholarship assistance, how important that was to me and to our family.
It is not easy to do this work, and we need everybody's hands to help us lift our aspiring educators to a place where they can feel competent, ready to fill their passion to be an educator.
I'm proud of Carroll, proud of the connections with Carroll, proud of the multi-generational connection with Carroll. And we're both believers in the importance of private universities like Carroll, and any small part we can do to make sure that that continues into the future is important to us.
I was privileged to be able to work with both Ben and Juju DeJong while they were undergraduates, and Ben as a graduate student. And their commitment as a family to this profession is honorable and deeply appreciated.